Well, hello and welcome back or welcome to my channel. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. And today you've tuned into my video series called WOW, W-O-W. Now, I have to say, when I first started doing this video series, I thought it was going to be way out Wednesdays because I thought the topics were going to be way out there. But it turns out it was just a ruse for my spirit guides to get me to do a video every week on Wednesday. And number two, it was also a ruse so that they could give you information that they thought was important for me to share to help you along your spiritual journey. So today, perhaps we're going to change the name to Wisdom on Wednesdays. Who knows? I don't know what this is. I show up and I, I was going to say I show up and I do what I'm supposed to do, but that's what this video is about. This video is about lessons. And I'm really don't know where I'm going to go with this except for that I'm channeling it and I'm telling you, you're going to be surprised. So just hang on. Just hang on for a minute. What are our lessons? Well, you guys, listen, if you're new here, you're just going to have to get up to speed really quickly because we come here. Earth is a 5-star Navy SEAL, Army Ranger soul experience. It could be an adventure. It could be like Planet Adventure Land. And sometimes I've been known to give it 2 stars. Okay, well, why is that? Well, because of this thing called lessons. Now, the reason I'm doing this video, well, because I have to have a video out on Wednesday, and now I've signed up to this gig and I can't get out of it because there's a contract somewhere. But anyway, also because, well, I want to work through a lesson that I'm going through, and I'm going to do it on this video to help you and hopefully, for the love of God, to help my own self. So I've been going through a lesson for the last 3 years, and what it's occurred to me pretty much in the last few days is something that I think can help you too. Now, first of all, how do you know you're going through a lesson? Well, your life goes to hell in a handbasket. That's what happens. Perhaps someone crosses, or you get sick, or you lose a job, or you get a job that you don't think that you're worthy of. I don't know why. Why did I get this promotion? How did I even get this job? What is happening? Right? How did I get this person who's interested in me? I don't think, do they know who they're dating? Yeah, you know what I mean? Anything like that. It can be good. It can be bad. But for one thing, it's for sure. It's challenging. It's challenging your thoughts, your ideas about yourself, your preconceived notions about yourself or other people. Challenges. Lessons are challenges. And challenges are why we came here. We came here to be challenged. We came here because this amazing Earth adventure land offers free will, which means that we are free. We are free to experience grief, joy, passion, betrayal, you name it. We're free to sample the entire buffet that the human experience on Earth has to offer us. Now, while we're sampling this, we also decided to come down here in a particular baby body, in a particular family, of a particular race or culture, and on a particular day, thereby pretty much locking in some astrological and numerological aspects. Now, don't forget that you've got ancestors, or maybe maybe your ancestors are aliens. I don't know. Or maybe they are hundreds and hundreds of lives lived on this planet, because you know what? It doesn't matter. You have ancestors. It doesn't matter if your ancestors are Pleiadian or if they are, hundreds and hundreds of lifetimes all over the globe. It's all the same because you're bringing this energy with you into this life for the reason of, did you say it? Did I hear you say it? Lessons. For the reason of lessons. Don't we love lessons? I don't love them. I don't love them. And to be honest with you, I'm learning a lot about myself, which I think you probably are too. And if you're not, you'll have a lesson to learn about yourself. So I am in some ways your crash test dummy. I go first, I crash, and then I come back and report. that is a hellacious lesson. Or, oh, that was easy, girl, you'll be fine. You know what I mean? I am your tour guide. I'm your tour guide. And I'm going to just pull out my button because this is what one of my friends made for me. I just work here. This is what I often tell you guys. I just work here. Like, I just want a name tag that says, I just work here. I don't understand this place. I really don't. So let's talk about it. The thing I want you to understand, I talked a little bit about what a lesson is. Listen, it's not punishment. That I think that's a really important thing. Now, if you're new here, I'm literally channeling this, which means that I'm talking to my spirit guides while I'm talking to you. And, it's not a punishment. It's not. It feels like a punishment. It felt like a punishment to me. I can be a little dramatic, my spirit guides say. Still don't see it, but they say I'm dramatic. Actually, they think it's really cute right now when I was preparing for this video because I'm a little riled up about this lesson that I'm learning. And they were reminding me there was a time when I had these neighbors, and these neighbors were, men. I mean, they probably had spouses, but I don't even know because I didn't even know my neighbors. All I know is that sometimes I like to do a little handy woman kind of thing. Maybe I'm cleaning up my gutters on my house. Maybe I don't know, I drag a ladder around to the front yard. And if it's on a weekend, the minute I drag the ladder out, the minute they drag out their lawn chairs and a cooler, and they literally would assemble and watch me do my projects because they thought it was funny. Now, sometimes it was funny. Sometimes funny things happened, and sometimes they did have to come and rescue me off of the roof or whatever it was. There were many things, believe me. And they always really enjoyed rescuing me when they had to, but if they didn't have to, they got a free entertainment. And this is kind of how I feel like my spirit guides are doing right now. They're kind of like, oh, isn't she cute? Wrestling with her lessons. It's sort of like, look at Susan. She's trying to walk. Oh, she fell down. Oh, she'll be fine. She's crying. Yeah, it looks like she skinned her knee up. She'll be fine. Look how cute she is. You know what I mean? It's like, get off your ass and get over here and help me. You know what I mean? Like, I'm crying. Why are you thinking I'm cute when I'm crying? See what I'm saying? Okay, I am your tour guide. I'm here to help you. Now, let's talk about it. It's not punishment. What I am is your translator. You could deal with them who are like, oh, isn't she cute? No, I'm going to be like, I'm going to tell you straight. I'm going to be real with you. I'm going to help you. Human to human. Okay. So it's not punishment, but it is something we sign up for, which we should all have a really good talking to ourselves when we cross over. But until that happens, we just got to deal with whatever we signed up for before we knew what we signed up for, if you understand what I'm saying. So they're not punishments. And it's really about soul growth. Now, I will say, I have to take back what I just said about my spirit guides, because part of the lesson that I learned, and it's always good to have to eat crow, isn't it? Because that's what I'm doing right now. I'm eating crow. Do you know what that means? If you don't, look it up. It's a slang. So basically, the message that I'm trying to give you is that they send you messages. They try to help you. So they weren't just sitting over there, watching me fall down emotionally, physically, and spiritually, and skin my, physical knee or emotional knee or spiritual knee. They were trying to help me. Turns out they were trying to help me, and I wasn't getting the message, right? So this is an important, I want you to hear this, okay, right? Like, so if they send you help, this was my aha moment. If they send you help and you don't take the help because for whatever reason, it doesn't matter, y'all, that becomes a lesson. That gets piled onto the lesson you already had. So you have this lesson, they send you help. They're like, here's some help. And you're like, oh no, I'm good. I can do it. They're like, are you sure? Here's some help. And you're like, no, I'm good. I can do it. It becomes a lesson. Are you hearing me? Here's some more help. Oh no, I'm good. I've got it. Here's another lesson. And your help becomes layers of lessons. You're adding to the lesson by not asking for help. Number one. Number two, you're adding to the lesson by not accepting the help. Number three, you're adding to the lesson by not implementing the help. I just want to say some cuss words right now because I just realized about 20 minutes ago, literally 20 minutes ago, I just realized, holy mother of God, those were answered prayers. I'm asking for help. They were sending me answered prayers. And I was like, yes, I'll do it. You know, whatever. I didn't know. I did not realize that was the answer. I thought, truly, I thought it was like a suggestion. It didn't seem, I was going to say in my defense, which also is going to make me look even worse than I already look. But anyway, I'm human. So it didn't seem like the answer to my problem because in my dramatic understanding of my problem was like this. And their answer was like this. I'm thinking, this is child's play, y'all. I'm up here freaking out. I need help up here. You giving me this? It's like your house is on fire and somebody gives you a water bottle. And you're like, thanks. You know what I mean? Like, thanks. And maybe that water bottle has some kind of magic water in it that would magically put out your whole house fire, but you didn't know because you made the judgment that you knew that it was just a water bottle. Or whatever it is they're suggesting to you isn't really going to help. Another, and I think this is also a message for me, which means that now we know, take this stuff more seriously, that maybe this is a lesson to not drink, you know, even if it is just like, you know, water. It's not really water. And they're like, maybe you should drink 5 or 8 glasses of water a day. And you're like, okay, I'll drink some water. Not the same. So do you understand what I'm saying here? What if somebody said to you, let's say that you had this big health issue. You go to the doctor, you got a big health issue. And then your spirit guides are like, yeah, you should have drank more water. You're like, what? Are you for real? Are you for real kidding me? You think drinking water? Well, it turns out, yes, these little things that they suggest, this seems so small and insignificant to us humans, or to this human. Maybe y'all are like screaming at this screen right now going, Susan, what's the matter with you? Maybe y'all got it. Maybe I'm the last one to get this because it could be true for real. I'm stubborn. You know, it could be true. These little things like drinking more water or, you know, whatever it is, having a daily spiritual practice, a daily spiritual practice, those things can have an exponential effect on your life, so much bigger than you think. And I'll just give you one example. So I have been doing, as part of this lesson, which there are many levels to this. I'm not even going to say it because I already look pretty bad. I'm not going to pile more. You know, I'm just going to say this lesson that I'm experiencing feels like it has multiple levels. Oh, it does. Because every time they threw me a life, raft or a help, I didn't take it and it got put as a lesson. So yeah, it has multiple levels of all that help I didn't take got piled on. So yes, it has multiple levels. So the experience that I had was I decided that I was going to do some major house cleansing. I'm a medium, and I'm a psychic and a medium, and I do this work in this office all the time, and I have energies coming and going. And I decided I'm going to do some spiritual spring cleaning. It's spring. I'm going to do some spiritual spring cleanings. I've been busy doing my spiritual spring cleaning. I mean, you might have seen some smoke coming out of that thing when we first started. Sage. For some reason, they're talking about burning all alder. I don't even know what that is. You can Google. There's lots and lots of ways to clean your space. I mean, you should clean it physically, but you also clean it energetically. So here I am getting busy. I'm organizing and I'm doing my spring thing. And you guys, I go out my front door and I go around because that was part of the guidance was sage the outside of your house. Now you can also use salt. You can take salt. I mean, you don't want to kill your plants, but you can take a little bit of salt and you can, say a prayer, have an intention, any intention that you want. You know what I mean? It's better if it's in your own energy, in your own words. But if you want to, you can look up something online. So you can take some salt and you can sprinkle it around the perimeter of your house while saying a prayer. So I'm going around the house with this sage. And I can't even remember the last time I did this, if ever, in this house. I've only been in this house for about 2.5 years. I go around the house. Now, mind you, this is the side of the house where my trash can is. So I go there every week. Every week, I go right to this side of the house. So it's not like I don't ever walk past here. But I've got my sage and I'm doing my thing. I'm blowing the sage. And you want to know what? For some reason that I don't know why, and I bet you can guess why, guidance, my spirit guides, I look up at my house and I notice that my dryer vent, which for me exits out of the attic, so it's in the top of the house. It's up by the roof line, sort of. It's got some stuff on it. Like my eye is drawn to this stuff on the dryer vent. And I thought, oh my gosh, I hope birds are not living in the dryer vent, because for the first time, I'm looking at the dryer vent going, this is not the dryer vent that I would have put on this house, right? I would have put on something bird proof and something better than just the little flappy things that flap open, because those flappy things, birds can open them themselves and make a nest in your dryer vent. This is not good. This blocks the air coming out. So what did I do? I came back inside, put my sage, my stuff down, went back outside, immediately grabbed the ladder, climbed up the ladder. It's a 1-story house. And I got up to the dryer vent. And you know what I saw? It wasn't bird, caca or feathers. It was dryer lint. And you know why it was dryer lint? Because I had my house painted about 6 months ago, or 4 or 5, I don't know, months ago. And this big dummy painted my dryer vent shut. Like maybe it was opening this much. Do you guys understand how unsafe that is? Do you understand how that's how fires get started? Now, because I already have a thing about dryers for some reason, fill in the blank, who knows? I don't leave my house with my dryer going. I just don't. I don't go to sleep with it going, and I don't leave my house with it going. I just do not do that. Okay. So it would have been something I likely would have caught while I was here, but it still would have been a problem, to say the least, right? So I'm trying to open the dryer vent and it's painted shut. Like he just rolled over it and just sealed that sucker right on up. So I'm over there, prying the things open. I got them open. I got as much. It wasn't like it was completely filled with dryer lint. It was not filled with dryer lint, but there was some in there, right? So I pulled out as much as I could, came in the house, started the dryer, went back outside, and the little levers were going up, and all this dryer vent lint comes out. And then I see something out of the corner of my eye. And I look over and it's a 7 or 8 foot tall white being. Now, when I say I see it in my mind's eye. I'm clairvoyant. If it was really standing there, I probably would have had a heart attack and died. And this is why they don't generally do this to humans. You usually see it in your mind's eye, but it's so real that it causes a physical reaction in the sense that you look, you see something out of the corner eye, you're like, what was that? That's a physical reaction. You had a physical reaction to something that's not physical. That's how you know you really saw it, albeit it was in your mind's eye. So in my mind's eye, meaning when I look with my physical eyes, I don't see it. But for just about, 2 or 3 seconds, I knew it was a tall, tall, I don't know, 8 foot tall being. And I'm a different type of person. So I see a lot of things. And I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, oh, I think that was an angel. And then I heard spirit guide. And then I was like, oh, my spirit guide. And then I was like, oh yeah, that is my spirit guide, who looks like a wizard, just because that's what works for me. Your spirit guide might be a ball of light. Your spirit guide might be a camel. I don't know. What works for you works for you. For me, spirit guides should look like wizards. Don't know why. So there he is. And you know what? It took me a long time to figure out why that happened. Like longer than I probably should admit to be honest with you. Now think about it. Think about what happened. I was actually following the guidance. I was outside my house with my sage, blessing my house. When I was blessing my house, learning my lesson, one of 700,000, I saw the problem with the dryer vent. I was able to see the energetically and physically, I was able to see the problem that I wasn't able to see before because I was blind. Even though I was going to the trash can, I was blind. I was blind to the lesson. I was blind to the problems because I didn't want to deal with it. So I was blind. But once I decided to say, hey, I'm going to clean this place up energetically, spiritually, physically, whatever, all of a sudden I could see what needed to be fixed in a new way, hence learning the lesson. And also, I could understand why this was causing me problems. So had I not saged the house and that sucker would have caught fire, what would that have been, y'all? A lesson. Do you understand how it's not a punishment? Do you understand how they're just trying to help you learn the lesson? It's not a punishment, but that's a value judgment. Just like I had a value judgment saying my spirit guides weren't helping me. They are helping me. I'm the one not receiving the help. I'm the one not open to the help. They have been telling me to do this for a long time. And I didn't think this little sage of the outside of the house was a big deal. I didn't think it was a big deal. I certainly didn't think it was going to help me in a big way. It helped me in a really big way because really could have had a fire. And to the point that a year ago, I called my insurance agency and upped the value of the contents on my house because I knew I needed to. My insurance. But I didn't understand why I might need to do that. But I did it. So in that case, I'm following the guidance. And sometimes it's not always that clear. And that's frustrating, right? That's frustrating. Like you get the guidance, but you don't know why. So you do it, but you still don't know why. I still don't know why I was supposed to do that. But at the same time, I was having all these other problems that weren't associated with fire, that weren't associated with insurance. And I couldn't put them together because the fact that I was not paying attention to all these lessons was going to cause me to have a problem in my physical life that I never would have figured out was related to the non-physical part of my life. I get it. It's difficult. It's complicated and it's confusing. And frankly, it's freaking irritating. So what I would suggest to you is when you're getting these nudges and ideas and ahas, how does it come to you? People in your life a friend can show up and say, you know what? It could be a new friend or it could be an old friend. It doesn't matter. But this person can say, I always get my tires rotated. And you're like, fine, whatever. Random, awkward. And then you don't pay attention. And then the next thing that happens is your coworker's like, yeah, just running late because I got my tires rotated. And you're like, weird. And then your car's wobbling when you go over 50. And you're like, I don't know what's going on because you're busy. Spirit guide's trying to tell you you're about to have a blowout, that one of your tires is wearing weirdly. This is probably a message for somebody. If you've had the idea about something or somebody has mentioned it to you, that's guidance. If you don't take the guidance, you don't act on it to the best of your ability, you don't have to ace it, you guys. You don't have to ace this. You just have to act on it to the best of your ability. If you don't, boom, it's another lesson. Another lesson. And your original lesson is down here in the bottom somewhere, covered by all the extra lessons you've been adding on to it because you haven't been paying attention. Now, the good news is that once you attend to the lesson on top of your 2,700 lesson layer cake, when you attend to the lesson on top, it does have this sort of, it permeates is what they're saying. It drips down. It's like it dissolves. Okay. It dissolves. It doesn't dissolve the primary lesson. Whatever that big, because this is a big one. The one on the bottom is the big one. Probably a lifelong lesson, maybe even a multiple life lesson. It doesn't dissolve this one, but it does dissolve a lot of the other ones, which has me a little bit scared because as I'm talking to you, and this is why I wanted this video, because I knew that I could talk it out to myself and you at the same time, means that you expose that big lesson. It's like exposing the root in a root canal or a tooth. So, okay, so you finally attended to this, all these helping things they sent you that became lessons, you attended to it and it was dissolved. Boom. Now this is going to hurt. This big lesson is exposed and it's going to be, it could be bigger in your life. Whereas before, these little irritating things were bothering you. So now you've decided this big lesson is now the one that's going to be the pain in your ass. And it's a big one. So sometimes we think, oh my God, just about the time I started going to the gym, eating better, standing up for myself at work, standing up for myself in the relationship, evicting ghost, using my abilities, whatever it is. I started doing the work and then bad things happened to me. Why is that, Susan? That's because the bad thing that happened to you is your lesson. And the bad thing that happened to you is now available for you to work on. I know that sounds, frankly, like crap. I just work here. 1-800-SPIRIT Guides, press 1 for complaints. I am just your tour guide. That part of the ride is totally effed up. Okay. Just saying. So if that happens, if you start working on whatever yourself, whatever, and then something bad happens, it's not a punishment. And also when we say, I can't catch a break, I just can't catch a a break. What your spirit guides would like to say is that by recognizing these other lessons, the help, the guidance that you were getting, and now you've like, oh, okay, I get it. There's these things that are actually supposed to help me. Let me attend to it. Let me do it. And then boom, you're down to this big lesson. What they're saying is that don't forget that these things that were little annoyances, that were lessons, but really guidance, those are your tools. Don't throw them out. They're tools. It truly is guidance that you use to deal with this bigger problem. So you can also, you should always ask for help. You should always ask for help. But if you, all right, be in a place of power. Ask for help, but be in a place of power. Because if you ask for help and you're the victim, again, let's go back to me. I'm in my beginning of this video, I'm the victim. I'm completely in victimhood. I'm laying on the ground. I skin my knee. I'm crying. And my spirit guides are like, oh, look at Susan. And I'm mad because I'm trying to ask for help. And then I realize I have to help myself. First of all, I need to get up off the ground and stop crying. Second of all, love myself. Not be mad at myself, but love myself. Wow, Susan, that threw you for a loop. You didn't see that curb. You didn't, whatever it was, you didn't see it coming and it took you out. Dang, like have compassion for you. Have compassion for you. Then say, okay, is there something I need to know about this? Is this is this a lesson? Is there energy around this? And what you can do is, there's a million things you can do, they're saying, but one thing you can do is you can get out a pad and a pencil, or get out your phone, or get out your computer, and just say, what would I imagine this is about? Because I know when we use the word imagine, our brain is like, she's not talking to me. She's talking about imagination. That's not me. You can talk to your subconscious. Your subconscious is connected to your spirit guides. So if you use the words imagine, if I were to imagine what this was about, if I were to imagine right now what my lesson is about, or what the spirit guides are trying to tell me, what might I imagine it to be? Write it down. This is why you're letting your brain go away, because you might have something that sounds crazy, or you might have something that sounds too simplistic, or maybe it's something that's too hard, that involves other people, that you don't know how to solve, that, you're like, I know that's a problem. I don't know how to solve it. That's okay. Because by writing it down, whatever it is, you're acknowledging it on a physical and a subconscious level. And that changes the energy right there. There's been many studies that show when humans look at atoms, they change. When atoms are all by themselves, they don't change. So if you don't think that we change things just by saying something, just by writing it down, just by having the aha moment, we change the energy. We change the energy that we're putting out about it. We're always emanating energy, always, always. So what are you emanating? Faith, love, hope, despair, anger, passion, grief. What is that? We don't know, because humans don't pay attention to that. We're not taught to pay attention to it. We're taught to go to the grocery store, to go to work, to pay the bills, to take care of the kids, to get dressed and not go to work naked. We're taught these things. These are important things. We're not taught about the energy. Except for now, it's really important because we're not getting a pass anymore. Humans are not getting a pass anymore. Energy will be important. Your energy will be important. You will have lessons on this topic. We've all gone on to a new level. And this is what the spirit guides told me last year, and I didn't understand. They said pencils down, pencils down. And I'm like, but what are you talking about, pencils down? I don't even have a pencil. Nobody writes with a pencil. What they meant was, this part of your test is now over, or this part of your assignment is now over. Over is in, you don't get to go back. You're not going back. You're going forward. You're going forward. So energy is going to be very important for humans. And owning our energy, understanding our energy, taking responsibility for our energy is going to be very important for us. And I think it's always been important, but I think that our energy centers have been expanded. The earth is ascending. Humans are ascending. The vibration is raising, is rising. So we have more capacity now to understand things we didn't before. So try to understand what your lesson is. Try to understand, why did you come here? What did you come here to learn? Look at your life. All of the answers are right here because they show up in the people that we were born with. They show up with the people who raised us. They show up with the people we went to school with, the town we grew up in. They show up with our partners, our mates, our kids, our jobs, our communities. Go back and look at the patterns. Where can you connect the dots in patterns in your life? Where is there a similarity between a teacher and a spouse, or a spouse and a boss, or a boss and a parent, or a child, or even your pets? You guys, the lessons are there in plain sight. In plain sight. Just like every week, that dryer vent was there in plain sight. I could have seen it. Do you know how many times I looked at it? Do you know how many times I looked up there? Many, many times, but I never saw it. And believe me, I'm a problem solver. I kind of look for problems to solve. I feel like I have a critical eye in the sense that I look at things. I try to pay attention to things. But that part of my personality, what happened with that is that I trusted that. I trusted that if there was something that I was supposed to see, I would have seen it. Something I was supposed to know, I would have known it. But it was a blind spot because it was part of the energy of the house. And I wasn't paying attention to the energy of the house. But what you don't pay attention to becomes the problem, especially with energy. If you're not paying attention to your backyard or your health or your house or your relationship or your abilities, that becomes a lesson. We can't always pay attention to everything. I'm not saying that we have to be all things all the time, but mindful. Even if, if I just went in the backyard and said, oh, things are looking, and I was getting that message. It's not, you guys, I was getting the message, go in the backyard, fix up the backyard, fix up the backyard, fix up the backyard, go in the backyard, go in the backyard. I didn't want to. And so what was that? Guidance. Piling lessons on me. I don't know, guys. Hopefully this has been helpful for you. Let me know in the comments what you think. Let me know in the comments what lessons you've had, how you found your lesson. What did you do to learn your lesson? Are you in a lesson now? Let me know. Let's share it with our community. We'll all help each other figure it out, and we'll all support each other. And that's what I love about this community. If you go into any of these videos, if you go to my main channel by clicking on the little spiral or the logo, that'll take you to my main channel. Go to playlist, go to WOW videos. There's 50, 60, 100 videos. It's your own spiritual library, free spiritual video library. But even more importantly, once you go to the video, go to the comments, because the comments are amazing. So helpful, so important to see that other people are experiencing what you're experiencing. You're not alone. You're not alone. We're all experiencing these things in various ways. And I feel like the best way to learn about it is from other people's experiences. Thank you so much for joining me today. I'm Susan Lynn. I'm a psychic and a medium. Take really, really good care of yourselves. I'll see you again next Wednesday.